Good morning, traders. So let's kick off today with the South African top 40, the Aussie. And I think this week we're going to do things a little differently and focus more on the Bill Williams indicator than the ichimoku. So, and primarily the reason for that is that we are ranging at the moment, and the Bill Williams gives us a little bit more, how do I put it, indication of what's about to happen. Okay, so from a weekly perspective, there are a couple of things that happened. This weekly bar that closed, this pattern here, is a bearish pattern, which is a piercing pattern. In other words, we gapped up at the open of the week and we pushed down. Okay, and we sort of pushed down and closed halfway down the main body of the previous week. That is a piercing pattern. Obviously, we'd like to see a confirmation bar for a continuation. So that is a slight concern. However, on the awesome oscillator, you can see the last three signals here is indicating bullish. So the other thing to take note on the weekly is if we were trading the Bill Williams strategy itself, we would have been long at the top of this pin bar, okay, and this at the top of this bar here would be our next long entry from a weekly basis, because this is the third. This is a wise man number 2 signal over here. Okay, so the bearish move, I'm going to take it with a pinch of salt right now. Okay, so levels that we need to watch are, just see, us would say that would be the level we need to watch the downside, and let's just put that one in as well. Okay, let's just move down to the daily, and you can see how we are gradually moving into a Bollinger Squeeze, where the Bollinger Band, these two purple lines here, are slowly but surely getting closer and closer together. Okay, now for those of you wondering what the black line is, okay, this is the awesome oscillator. However, the black line is just a MACD. It's a MACD with settings of 5, 13, 5, and it's really just for diversions, nothing else. Okay. So from a daily perspective here, nothing much. Okay, we are bullish. You can see we are above the alligator, and we touched the red line of the alligator and we went up. We've come back to test it. This is another inside bar, and we've had confirmation. So that is a bearish pattern. But I think for me, I'd like to see that trend line break for confirmation of more downside. Let's get the 4 hour. I don't really see much on the daily. Okie dokie. 4 hour, there wasn't any diversions. Nope. Okay, so from the 4 hour perspective, we have crossed through the alligator head. You can see here, we sort of gradually moved through it, and the alligator is now pointing for downside. We are at the bottom of this trend line. Okay, so what could be happening here is, let's find a better picture, is this kind of effect here, or this kind of effect here, where it starts moving to downside, but then turns and moves to the upside. Okay, so I think the hour will give us probably a better indication of what's going on, but I just want to make sure that we have, I suppose that level is the correct level. Everything there is right. So this is obviously, you can see this is going to be the critical area to watch today. We're upward trend line, and we have we have a weekly level here. So that's going to be a very interesting level to watch. The awesome oscillator. Now remember, when the awesome oscillator is below the 0 line here, we have an indication that we're turning bearish. So in other words, momentum is moving to the downside. And there are a lot of traders that will take the shorts on the close of the first bar below the 0. Okay. For me, it's got to be, the trend has to have reversed. And at this stage, I don't think the trend is reversed. It's just retraced. And I think the hour is what we really want to watch. Okay, so a couple of things to look out for here, and I think the key thing here is this this Brooks gap here. So the top of this bar here hasn't been challenged, and it lines up quite nicely with the trend line. So for me at this stage, that is probably going to be a long entry, and I see we have diversions. So let me just draw it out for you so you can see. So the MACD is moving to the upside, but price is moving to the downside. So we have diversions, which is indicating a turn. Okay, and if we just have a look here at we could very well have a setup brewing here. So we have an inside bar. That was our first move down. We then had a second push down. We've got another inside bar. Okay, so there's two signals here ready for a move to the upside. We do have a level to tag, which is here, and we're sitting at 554. Okay, so we're sitting 150 points higher than where we closed. And this inside bar here, if we look at the Bill Williams Three Wise Men strategy, you will see, so what we want to know is where price crossed over through the head, which is here, okay, and along the top. So it's basically drawing a trend line from where price crossed through the alligator head there to the downside, and I draw another one following the red line where it crossed through, so going to be in the same rough area there. So we have diversions here with the alligator. So price has been moving away from the alligator, and price tends to like to come close to the alligator as possible. So there are a couple of warning signs here that we're about to turn around. I think we'll probably pick it up a little bit better on the 15. Yeah, okay. So you can see here we've had a double inside bar, well, triple inside bar now, moving to the upside, and we have diversions there. What we don't have is the awesome oscillator confirming the move. So I think for me, I'll be looking for longs today by the looks of things, and what we'll do is we will trade pretty much on the 15 minutes today to get the turn and see where we go to. But I have a feeling what's going to happen is we're going to head to the top of this channel. And what time frame did we draw? A daily? So let's just go to the daily. Okay, so I have a feeling we're going to head back to the top of this channel for some higher targets. So let's just get those targets on the hour. Okay, so we need to wait for price action on the, I would say the 15 minute today. It would be nice for us to tag this area. This looks like a pretty nice magnet. We've got the 1 hour 200 EMA, we've got a Brooks gap here, and we've got a trend line. So this to me would be a perfect spot to take along. And then what we need to do is watch a price break through the alligator to the upside, and then we can pretty much hold this trade for a new high, which will be over there. Let's just delete that weekly. So obviously up there you can see there's also a gap up here. Okay, I think this gap was closed on lower time frames, but it's still open on the higher time frame. So there's two targets here. There's that one, and then obviously I think let's just delete that weekly trend line and replace it with, oops, this one. Yeah, I was going to roughly, I basically put that trend line, don't put it right on the top of these levels, rather look to the inside and find the next swing high. So you can see there's a swing high there. So here's a swing high here. Okay, and then there's another swing high and a swing low combination there. So that's kind of the zone that I'd be looking for. And you can also see there's a swing low here that coincides with the swing high. So this is definitely going to be an area where we will there'll be some profit taking, and it'll also be it'll be pretty close to the blue line of the alligator, so the jaw line of the alligator. So that is normally an area where there's some profit taking. Okay, so guys, that's it for me. I think, sorry, one last thing that I think we need to just really pay attention to, and you can see, right, so we have a channel, a downward channel at the moment, okay? So if we don't get to this area and we bounce off here and come back with anything like a 50% Fibonacci, so let's say we head up here, we're on the hour, so let's get the angle right, so roughly around there. Okay, so in other words, price, we gap up here, we come back, and we come back to the 50 to 60% Fibonacci, which will be there. So in other words, we gap up, moves the downside, consolidate here, and start breaking through this trend line. That would be another entry to go long. Okay, so this one here would be first price, ideal setup, and I mean, I'll actually have a limit order in just above this pin bar, probably around there where the cursor is now. Okay, just so that I'm assured of getting triggered, and I'll watch this area to see what happens at the open. So we are going to gap up. I would assume we come back and close the gap, and you can see how this block here will coincide with closing the gap pretty much. Okay, so that's kind of the setup that I'm looking for today. Definitely looking at longs by the looks of things, and the only thing that's going to change my mind is really a break below this level here, and that is going to be a pretty big, well, 280 points, all relative with the Aussie. So if we break below this level here, then all bets are off, and then we're looking for more downside, and we look to continue this area, continue this downward move. Anyway, that's the Aussie today, guys. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you guys later.